Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen. This episode, we're going to talk about Sagittarius season, what's going to be going on, what you need to know for your rising sign, and we're going to make some celebrity predictions using the tarot cards. Spilling the tarot tea, as we like to say around here. So we've got a lot of fun things to get into. Let's dive right in. This is what you need to know for your calendar. November 21st through December 21st. This is the Sagittarius season. 'Tis the season of celebration and fun. And this is really like the holiday season. This is when we're going to the holiday parties. This is when we might be traveling to go see family or even for like an end of the year vacation. And that makes a lot of sense because Sagittarius rules celebrations, fun. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which is the giver of gifts and luck. So this feels like a generally optimistic, fun time where we've worked hard all year. And now we get to kind of relax, do a little bit of traveling, get out of our day-to-day routine. It's a nice time. This is like just a time to enjoy. So it is good to be aware of Sagittarius season because you want to make the most of it. You want to have a little fun, kick your feet up. I know that people are busy right now because we are ending the year. But even though we're busy, there's just a general joy and excitement for the holidays, a little bit of time off, and of course, a fresh start with a new year. This is a very interesting Sagittarius season though, because we actually have a lot of planets that are retrograde, and I mean a lot. First, Mercury. This is happening today. If you guys are listening when this podcast comes out, November 25th, the beginning of Mercury retrograde is today. And of course, that's right around Thanksgiving. So if you guys are traveling for Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, just be sure that you take a little extra time to dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure you have everything. The timing is right. Everything is like warmed and you didn't forget to pick up the rolls. Like this is a time to slow down a little bit. And because Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius from November 25th through December 15th, also encompassing a lot of holiday shopping, by the way, we want to be sure that we pay attention to the details. Sagittarius rules big thinking, excitement, making new plans, a devil-may-care attitude. It's like, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to party and enjoy my life. It is not a time where you're typically focused on the details. And with so much going on, it's kind of easy to let the details slip. But when Mercury goes retrograde in a zodiac sign, we have to balance things out by making sure that we don't fall into the dark side of that sign. While Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius, you could have some issues, okay? There could be issues with travel. There could be issues with buying the wrong gifts, forgetting something that is really important to you. You especially want to check the house that rules Sagittarius because not only will we have the sun there, but we'll also have Mercury there. So there's going to be a lot of energy in your Sagittarius ruled house. That's what it's going to be all about during your winter arc, as they say. Oh my God, I get why the winter arc is like trending right now because with so many planets retrograde, 6 planets retrograde at the end of the year, this winter is the perfect time to redo something, to rethink, to have a glow up, do something behind the scenes. So side note there. Let's talk about our rising signs and what you're focusing on during this winter arc, this glow up as we wait for the new year. Aries rising, we're going to start right there. If you have Aries rising, then Sagittarius season lights up your 9th house of travel, education, and philosophy. Now, some astrologers say that people with Aries rising have a lot of good karma because all of their houses just line up with the natural ruler. So for you guys, you're going to be having some fun this Sagittarius season with travel, with education, philosophy. You may have been taking bold steps, seizing opportunities. You may have signed up for a new class, thinking up new ideas. You may have been having a lot of fun. Well, once we get to November 25th, you're going to find that the universe is going to want you to rethink a couple of things. I'm not saying you're not still going to have fun, but just all the things that Sagittarius rules that I just listed, travel, education, philosophy, big thinking, you're going to want to slow down a little bit and think through your big goals. You want to think through those long-term goals. How are you getting to those goals? Mercury in Sagittarius wants you to put together a plan. Think of Mercury. Mercury is mercurial. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, and it's about the details and having a plan and making sure that everything is time blocked and written out. So for you guys, this is a time where you want to think through those big goals, and then you want to figure out the steps and the timeline to make those things happen. And same thing with travel. If you're planning a big trip, you may need to decide on a budget. You may want to spend a little bit less on Christmas gifts this year. You guys get what I mean. It's about slowing down so that you can stay focused and reach those big goals. You don't want to let the details trip you guys up when it comes to anything philosophical, travel, or holiday season celebration related. Okay. Taurus rising. So for Taurus rising, this is your 8th house. So Sagittarius rules your 8th house of deep commitment, transformation. You guys are the ones that can have the winter arc for sure. The way that I think people are meaning it, like a personal transformation. Wow. My Taurus rising friends, please DM me in the cards and stars if you guys are like on this winter arc already of just glowing up and having new healthy habits, because the 8th house is all about transformation, finding your personal power, owning your power, and also shared resources. You may be deciding to switch things up a little bit with the way that you spend your money when it comes to how you and your partner share things, how you guys divide up the money and the responsibilities, because the 8th house is like these contracts. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion Travis Kelce is a Taurus rising. That's the way that he looks physically to me, his personality, his energy. He gives Taurus rising. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if y'all are watching this on YouTube. And if that is true, then he may be rethinking his shared resources, personal power, and he may be embracing change. Now, I also look at the 8th house as like the marriage contract. So it's like when you get married, when you find that partner, that's your 7th house. When you get married and you sign the contract and you start dividing up the resources, or God forbid, the divorce papers and stuff, all of that's 8th house, shared resources. What's yours? What's mine? And how do I feel in relation to this power dynamic? What's going on? So for Travis, his winter arc may be something about marriage. Dare I say, I did predict with the tarot reading last week that he may be getting engaged. I don't know. We're going to see. Taylor has Sagittarius moon, so that would be very interesting. Her moon falls if in fact, allegedly for entertainment purposes, if in fact he's a Taurus rising and his 8th house is ruled by Sagittarius, then her moon, the sign associated with, or the part of her associated with emotions, would fall in his 8th house of marriage contracts and shared resources. Now, with all the retrogrades happening, including the Mercury retrograde, I feel like this could go one of two ways. Either this would be the perfect time to rethink everything, come up with the right plans, maybe figure out like how your house and a prenup or whatever, whatever they need to do. That could all be going on while Mercury's retrograde in Sagittarius. And then when Mercury goes direct in December 15th to be exact, which is a couple days after Taylor's birthday, December 13th. Okay, guys, we're getting some vibes here. This is going to be a defining moment for Taylor, for sure, because we do know about her moon sign. We do know that Mercury conjunct the moon. This is thinking about your emotions. And if Travis does have his 8th house ruled by Sagittarius, this could be them rethinking and then getting engaged around her birthday, around Christmas. Okay, so we're going to stay tuned for that. But that's what it's kicking up. It's kicking up for you guys, 8th housers. It's kicking up contracts, marriage contracts, shared resources, and personal power. So slow down a little bit around those things and take the time that you need to make sure that you feel solid and steady when it comes to all of that. And for Taurus risings, it's important for you guys to feel solid and steady. So once you get all those agreements figured out and, the what's yours, what's mine negotiations, if you're married, it could just be dividing up responsibilities in a way that feels more fair or that feels better to you. Whatever it is, once you get it sorted out, you're going to feel a lot better and you're going to feel really solid. And that's exciting for you guys because y'all like to charge ahead. Taurus risings are on a mission. Gemini risings, if you guys have Gemini rising, the themes during Sagittarius season, including the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, are about your 7th house of partnerships and collaborations. So you guys may be collaborating with people that you met previously. If it's a work thing, you may reconnect with old colleagues, old coworkers. If this is a love thing, because the seventh house could also be love partnerships, the relationships that we get into, the commitments, pre-marriage, this could be deciding to maybe spend the holidays together, or it could be going back to an old love, or there's so many things, or it could be deciding that you maybe don't want to be with that person anymore, rethinking. Whatever you guys decide, Sagittarius, I feel, because it's ruled by Jupiter, it makes things easier. So I prefer a Sagittarius retrograde versus, a Mercury retrograde in Virgo or Gemini, because I feel like Sagittarius softens things. There is going to be an element of fun in whatever's going on. So I feel like these will be positive movements. Whatever anyone decides to rethink, I feel like it will be positive and you'll be happy about it. Even if it was like a breakup or something like that, you would still feel relieved and happy. Like it's something you've been wanting to happen, okay? So just keep that in mind. Don't be scared. All right, networking though, forming alliances, deepening any partnerships that you have been wanting to deepen before we move into the new year. This is a time to cooperate and be really optimistic and willing to compromise with people. Definitely a great time to reach out to people from the past. I would be careful about romantic relationships, but definitely friendships and former work colleagues. If there's something that you could see in the future doing together, this is the time to reach back out and reconnect. Cancer rising. My Cancer risings, this is your 6th house of wellness, daily routine, workflow. This is about making sure that you are consistent, that even though it's Sagittarius season and we're having fun, Cancer, you guys need to have that stability, just like Taurus risings. And for you, you have to be sure that you stay grounded or else you can become emotionally overwhelmed. And a Cancer rising who's emotionally overwhelmed, it's just like, you're not going to be having fun. You're going to feel too frazzled. So as you embrace the optimism of the season, be sure that you stay consistent with your calendar. Be sure that you are paying attention to where you may feel overwhelmed. And if you do, just give yourself a little grace and go back to the drawing board, go back to the time blocking, go back to the calendar, ask for help if you need it. See if there are tasks. I know this is so cliche, but tasks that you could delegate. As a Cancer rising, you may be the one hosting all of the festivities. If that's the case, don't be afraid to ask someone, hey, could we do potluck this year? Trust me, people love you, Cancer rising. You are so nurturing and kind. This could be the start of something new and very positive for you to let other people bring you a little bit of blessings, gift you with a little bit of help and assistance, and you will feel even more powered up. Sagittarius is all about, like I said, the celebration, and we have Mercury retrograde there. This could be helping you to set up new routines and maybe easier, more fun ways of doing things that you start this year and then become a tradition moving forward. So keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to change it up. Don't get too stuck in your routine. And while you want to make sure that you are staying on point with things, don't be afraid to ask for a little bit of nurturing back. During this season, that is ruled by Jupiter, giver of gifts and luck. If you ask somebody for help, they're probably going to say yes. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, Leo rising. So this is your 5th house of fun, creativity, and children. So if you were trying to have a child and you haven't done so yet, if you are a Leo rising, this could be the time, okay? Look out. And then also, this is a time where you may be going back to the drawing board, but it's very optimistic. I love Sagittarius ruled 5th house, you lucky ducks. You may be going back to the drawing board, but it's because you're having new ideas that are really fun and exciting and fresh, and it's like a new direction that you may want to flesh out. Sagittarius makes things bigger. So with your 5th house getting bigger and expanding, there's something that you're rethinking because you're going to expand in this area of your life, especially once we get past December 15th. So the universe is wanting you to make sure you're expanding in the right way. And as a Leo rising, you guys are very creative. It's important to you that you have a creative outlet. So don't be afraid to try new things. Go back to something maybe that you used to love that you haven't done in a while. Let's say you used to take acting classes or tap dancing or something. This would be a time to go back to that. The celebrity that I think of when I think of Leo risings, of course, is like Jennifer Lopez, right? she's had a time, right? This past year was a lot. So I wonder if with Sagittarius retrograde in her fifth house, I wonder if she's going to go back to either a past love, that would be very like her, or she may go back to singing, dancing, performing. I don't know, what's something that she hasn't done that she was successful at. I could see her maybe going back into music. But this time it could be really positive and it could go well because I feel like she hasn't had a big song in a while. How about we pull a card for J-Lo? J-Lo's had a rough year. Okay, what allegedly for entertainment purposes, what could Jennifer Lopez be experiencing while Mercury's retrograde in her fifth house during Sagittarius season? This season of her fifth house. Also kind of sad that she's like going through a divorce while the sun is in her fifth house. It's like, maybe that's part of it, actually. Maybe rethinking your love life. Who knows? But let's see what the cards have to say. Three of Swords, heartbreak. Ooh, guys, I literally just said rethinking the way that she goes about her love life. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe next year will be a better year. I would say be sure that you process it fully. You know, if you have this Three of Swords, the Mercury retrograde is happening in this fifth house of love and relationships and romance, probably because going forward, the universe wants her to take things a little bit more seriously in this house so that she can avoid Three of Swords heartbreak in the future. And that may be, fifth house is like your inner child. So maybe it's for J-Lo learning to be more realistic and focus on the details of a relationship rather than the big ideas and the fantasies, Sagittarius energy, Jupiter energy, like the big ideas, the big picture, that unbridled optimism. With the Sagittarius ruled fifth house for J-Lo, there is an unbridled optimism. It's like she just believes everything's going to work out. And that's really nice and sweet. But at the end of the day, looking at who someone really is, a dose of realism, and rethinking that, I guess, going through that divorce right now, is meant to help her Three of Swords recognize the types of people that she chooses that lead her to this energy so that when Mercury moves direct, she can move forward into the next year choosing people based on more realistic expectations and a more realistic viewpoint rather than just people that she has these big fantastical ideas that it could just be this fairy tale, right? It's like fairy tales aren't real, but there are really good relationships. So look for that. That's kind of the advice. And I forgot to pull a card for Taylor and Travis. So let's pull one. I know we did that like was it last week, the week before? During the live stream. We got some good, some good cards for them. But let's just see what comes through when we're talking about this retrograde. So with Travis allegedly having Sagittarius ruling his eighth house and Taylor having a Sagittarius moon, let's see what they may be rethinking or reworking in their relationship and what the outcome could be, allegedly for entertainment purposes. What are they reworking or rethinking? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Need a clarifier there. So the Knight of Pentacles is an offer. I just threw two cards. Okay. It's getting interesting. All right. Okay. The Ten of Swords is an ending. Okay. What? Things do change, Okay. Guys, I'm not loving this. And then the Three of Pentacles, working together, working with other people, collaborating. But the Knight of Pentacles in reverse with the Ten of Swords. This is an ending or a heartbreak to the idea of making a commitment. To me, this would be a breakup. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. This would be a breakup. I have never gotten that for them before. However, during a Mercury retrograde, as we know, wires get crossed, there's miscommunication, and you never want to 100% settle on an outcome until Mercury has gone direct and past that shadow. So I would say things are going to be changing for them for a little bit. They may be going through a weird time, but it could either just be, them figuring things out where they want to move forward. Maybe they aren't on the same page. That might take some time. Three of Pentacles, we have collaboration with friends. This is Pentacles, so this is more work. Very weird. Let me get let's see, what is an outcome of rethinking that commitment. What is the outcome of them rethinking that commitment? Allegedly for entertainment purposes. Oh my God. The Three of Swords, heartbreak. Okay, guys. This is such a weird reading, and this could just be a fluke. And this could just be talking about what happens in the retrograde, but this is the first time I've ever gotten heartbreak energy for them. And the 10 of Swords. So we have the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. I will say this. This Mercury retrograde period, especially because Mercury is conjunct Taylor's moon, which is her emotions, this could be a time where old fears come up. She's rethinking if this is what she really wants in life. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to say that this is true, but there could just be a period of confusion there. So I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned and see. Like I said, I've never gotten negative cards for them. That could be due to the retrograde. Maybe the negativity is part of them getting on the same page. I don't know. I'm going to leave that there, though. That is really weird. I think if they are ever going to break up, I think it would be between now and like December 15th. I think this is like a make it or break it time period for them because something is ending. And it's possible that the person, being sad, the 3 of Swords, it's possible that's somebody else. But I don't know. Something's weird. This is going to be a make it or break it. There's a time of finality during this retrograde. I think they're going to make a decision about their future. So we will stay tuned. I do think it'll go one way or the other. Yikes. Some sort of announcement coming before the end of the year with them. Okay. Oh my gosh. Already regretting the prediction. Okay, Virgo rising next. So if you have Virgo rising, then Sagittarius rules your 4th house of home, family, and emotional grounding. This is the time where you may want to focus on building an environment that feels really supportive. Around the holidays, you guys are amazing at turning your home into a place of festivity and fun. With Sagittarius ruling your 4th house, you were meant to be an entertainer, a hostess, someone who truly does enjoy having people into their home and making sure that they have fun around the holidays. So you're going to be loving that and enjoying that. You may reconnect with people from your past. Maybe it's family members or friends that you haven't seen in a while. They may be coming over to your house, knocking on your door, maybe joining you for the holidays. It's going to be really pleasant. You're going to love that. Also, you may be switching things up a little bit to build a stronger emotional foundation. This is similar to Taurus risings who have their 8th house ruled by Sagittarius. For you guys, this could be even more detail oriented, like maybe you're remodeling like a part of your house so that it's more suitable for guests. Like maybe you're redecorating a guest bedroom or you're redoing something that could either be your physical home or it could be the structure and the boundaries that you have around your home. But whatever it is you're doing, it's so that you can create a more fun, hospitable environment to celebrate the season and to celebrate with the people that you love. So I do think it's going to be very enjoyable. You guys are going to love it. So do your thing. You guys you love this time of year. So go full throttle and be sure that you pay attention to the details, that you don't miss a plan or miss a step, because for you guys, it would make you super upset. Although you're probably the least likely to mess something up, but with Mercury ruling your sign, yeah, just, make sure that you check your list a couple extra times, but you got this. Libra rising. This is your 3rd house of communication, learning, and networking. So you guys are going to be sharing your ideas. You're going to be communicating. This could be a time where you go back to an old neighborhood. The 3rd house rules neighborhoods, siblings. So maybe you reconnect with a sibling. Maybe you go back to your old neighborhood. It's giving Hallmark energy. Like somebody comes back from the big city and reconnects. That could be what you guys are doing. But genuinely, this is very fun for you. You enjoy reconnecting with these people. Libras tend to smooth things over. So even if things are a little bit dicey with the communication, you guys are better than anyone at mediating and communicating and making things smooth and harmonious. So you may be using those skills a little bit more at this time. But for you guys, I really think it's networking with people that you haven't seen, that you haven't gotten to speak with. It could also be old opportunities coming up that come from the neighborhood or people that you know, like a friend of a friend. It could also be, Libra energy. I mean, I don't know, that I'm getting this feeling that it could also be like something very positive around a sibling, something you weren't expecting. like maybe they give you something that you wanted, like a gift or something that you forgot about. I don't know. There's some sort of blessing I'm feeling that's going to come to you guys. And it's going to be a really lucky time for you. Also, if you've been wanting to like post on social media or be a writer or do something creative, the third house is also like communication and media. Do it. Make something fun. You got this. Okay. Scorpio risings. This is Taylor Swift allegedly. I think that Taylor is a Scorpio rising, so I always put her in this category. But this is about your second house of income, resources, and values. Again, if we are going to go with that previous theory of Travis being a Taurus rising and Sagittarius ruling his 8th house, then that would be him focusing on finances when it comes to getting married and signing a marriage contract. And this would be her focusing on second house of income, resources, and values. Maybe that's what's stressful. Maybe it's a prenup negotiation or something, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. It did end in the 3 of Pentacles, though, which is money and collaboration. I don't know. They're working through something, okay? I'm going to leave it at that. But something's going on. We'll check in again. Mid-retrograde. For people who have Scorpio rising, this is a time where you're going to be budgeting, negotiating, thinking about how you're going to create more abundance. This could be a great time for a side hustle, especially something that you used to do. But for you guys, pay attention to your finances. Be careful not to overspend. Sagittarius has a way of doing that, especially with your second house of income ruled by Sagittarius. But at the same time, this is a time where you could get an unexpected windfall, an unexpected blessing of money, finances, or something that boosts your confidence in the second house. And this could be from something that you weren't expecting, that you even forgot about, an old contact, an old side hustle, an old check that was owed to you that you never received. There's something positive that's happening, but this is all about the past work paying off, and you may be rethinking your budget so that you can do all the things that you need to do, but within reason. Don't let Sagittarius blow up your money. Don't get into debt this holiday season, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Use this time for inspiration to continue to create more abundance in the new year. And remember, if you do end up feeling like you wish you had more money this time of year, which I think a lot of us feel that way, that's normal. Just remember that the holiday season really is about love and care, and you can't buy love, you can't buy connection. So little acts of service, kindness, that goes a really long way. And that's priceless. Capricorn risings, for you guys, this is your 12th house of rest, introspection, spirituality. This is a time where you guys really power down and you plan, you take in everything that happened the past year, and you just chill. You guys are really good at going into hibernation mode right before your season when you guys shine in the iciest part of winter. But during Sagittarius season, this is your 12th house. Like I said, it's where you manifest from too. You have these big ideas that are happening beneath the surface. So for you guys, spending a little more time in solitude, which I know sounds very counterproductive. I feel like when everybody else is partying, that's when you guys finally relax enough to spend time alone. You know what I mean? Even if you do go to parties and have fun with people, just make sure that you are leaving enough time for you guys to recharge, to power down, to spend some time alone, maybe with a pet, and just kind of get that self-care going. Let yourself hibernate. Capricorn season's coming up. You guys are going to be having so much fun in Capricorn season, but this is really the time where you need to rest. You need to rejuvenate. You need to rethink things. If anything comes up that is important that you guys want to manifest, any big ideas, because the 12th house also is like our big spiritual, our big goals and the things that we manifest from our spirit. I mean, if there's something that comes up for you guys, definitely you want to think about that. And you want to figure out how you could make that happen. What steps can you take like in the real world that can bring those spiritual goals, those higher ideas down to reality? And you guys are really good at that. So time to rest, time to rejuvenate. Don't feel guilty if you cut out of the holiday party a little early. This is your time to do that and let the pressure off, Aquarius rising, this is your 11th house of friendships, networking, long-term goals, big picture ideas. For you guys during Sagittarius season, success comes from collaborating. If there is someone from the past that you connected with that you wanted to work with, but the timing wasn't right, this is the time to reach out to those people. If there is a friend that you miss that you haven't seen in a while, give them a call, reach out, have some fun. This is a time where you definitely want to network, exchange ideas, communicate, be out and about during this season, because you never know who you can meet, who is going to be the missing link to help you make that dream come true. So this is a really positive time for you guys. And the retrograde part, I think that's about reconnecting with people from the past. So reconnect, go back through that Rolodex, make sure you send out your Christmas cards to all the people that you've connected with who have been good to you, and, keep those lines of communication open. You never know what will happen when Mercury goes direct mid-December. Okay, Pisces risings. So for Pisces risings, this is actually your 10th house of career and public image. So that's why Pisces risings, as much as Pisces is like a mild and emotional sign, every Pisces rising that I know has big fiery energy. And this is why, because your 10th house is ruled by Sagittarius. So for you, this is a time especially where you're going to be rethinking all the decisions that you made over the past year in your career and public image. So if you are considering a change of work or a change of workplace, or I don't know, maybe you just want to change your image because it's your public image as well, there is some sort of change that you guys are wanting to make. That's what this retrograde is about. And this is the time to really think that through so that you can make those decisions when Mercury goes direct mid-December. Maybe that's when you want to put in your notice or something, and then after the holidays, you get a new job. I don't know, but there's something shifting in your 10th house of career and public image. If you want to stay where you are, if you don't want to leave, this is a time to reflect on everything you've done over the year so that you can get ready for your, I'd like a raise, or I'd like more of a leadership role where I have more responsibilities and XYZ additional benefits in 2025, because the 10th house also rules your leadership. So really take stock of everything that you guys have accomplished this past year. I think that's what the retrograde is for you. Take stock of what you have accomplished. Write it down. Be ready for your big moment, for your presentation. You never know. At the holiday party could just be the right time where the conversation with your boss turns to steps for next year. And I don't know, sometimes people don't talk about work at the holiday party. Sometimes that's when people really do end up talking about important things. You never know. You got to feel it out. You know. But this is a time where you could have a breakthrough in your 10th house. But be sure that you know exactly what you've accomplished, that you pat yourself on the back, and that you're thinking big. The right time to make that move will definitely be in the new year, when Mercury's well out of the shadow and direct, the 15th, when everybody comes back from the holidays. That would be a great time to put even a better face forward. Maybe it's just upgrading the whole package. Maybe you're dressing sharper. Maybe you have a different air of authority and, you're ready for that next level. That's what this is. You're going to be leveling up. Okay. Love you guys so much. I hope that gave you some clarity around what this retrograde means for you. I'm going to talk about a couple of other planets retrograde briefly, because wouldn't you know, we chit-chatted the whole time about Mercury retrograde, but it was important. So we also have, hold on to your hats, guys. We also have Mars retrograde from December 6th, 2024 to February 24th, 2025. This is all happening in Leo. Check your Leo ruled house. Just know that that's where you're going to be rethinking, redoing, resetting things. If you're feeling a little bit less fiery, that's okay. That's okay. When Mars retrogrades in a fire sign, sometimes we can feel a little more tired. Just be sure that during this time period, you are a little bit extra disciplined and making sure that you stick with your scheduled routine of going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time, because we can feel a little bit more tired in general during this Mars retrograde in Leo. So you want to be sure that you're just giving yourself every advantage. Also, when Mars is retrograde in Leo, you may want to work out by doing something that you used to love, something fiery, something that makes you sweat, because that can also release endorphins and give you a little bit of extra energy to power through that period through February 24th. Jupiter is still retrograde. Jupiter's been retrograde since October 9th, 2024, and will remain retrograde through Sagittarius season until February 4th, 2025 in the sign of Gemini. So again, very similar. Check that Gemini ruled house. You're still rethinking, you're reworking some things in that house. But once we get to February 4th, you're going to be full steam ahead in that part of your life, because when Jupiter goes retrograde, Jupiter's Oprah, like you get a car, you get a car. So you're going to have a lot of gifts and blessings. Don't get discouraged. One other thing that I need to point out while these planets are retrograde, if you guys will notice, all of my advice is basically like do the opposite. So the planet is wanting you to rethink and really like get disciplined. It's almost like Saturn energy, honestly, because it's like you want to get disciplined in that part of your life because you don't want to fall into like the trap of the retrograde. You definitely want to be mindful. You definitely want to be mindful. You definitely want to slow down a little bit. Make sure you're paying attention to the details, but don't let it bring you to a full stop. So the way that we do that is we add some balance. So when Mars is retrograde in Leo, we are going to be getting our inner fire going by making sure that we have enough energy of our own by sleeping at a certain time, getting up at a certain time, working out, like managing our own physical energy. Jupiter retrograde, this is gifts and luck and just abundance and optimism. Jupiter's retrograde, we may be having to pull more from our inner self. Don't let yourself get discouraged. Keep things positive. Keep things optimistic. Say your affirmations if you need to. Make sure that you're having fun. You can make your own fun. That's the kind of feeling. It's like, how can I balance this out so I don't get dragged down? Uranus has been retrograde since September 1st, 2024, and will remain retrograde through January 30th, 2025. And this is in Taurus. I don't mind this because Taurus is my fourth house of home. We did have some surprises. I am loving the stability, so I don't care. Take as long as you need, Uranus. Yeah, so wherever you have Uranus, this is where you may have had some surprises over the past year. Could be good, could be bad, whatever. I find that we are just kind of like rethinking these surprises during the retrograde and figuring out how to integrate them. I mean, who am I kidding? For me, it's definitely been the dogs that we've adopted from the animal shelter and doing the animal rescue work. Those have been surprising things that have popped up in my fourth house. And we definitely have been integrating everybody and figuring out new solutions, new strategies so that I can record and do different things. So I only tell you guys that to, bring a little astrology in the wild context to it, because I've certainly felt that. So look at your Taurus ruled house. Where have you guys had some surprises or unexpected twists and turns that you have been figuring out how to navigate? And when we move forward, January 30th, 2025 onward, how are you going to continue to manage anything that may come up? Just be ready for more twists and turns because the story isn't quite over yet. Okay, and then we have Neptune, which has been retrograde, honestly, since July 2nd. Neptune is a planet of confusion, but it's also the higher octave of Venus. So it can also be like just these lovely, fantastical moments that are kind of like, just like a fairy tale, things that don't seem real. When Neptune is retrograde, things can be a little too real, So especially in that Pisces ruled house. So when Neptune goes direct, I am very much looking forward to tapping back into Neptune's creative powers, especially in its home sign of Pisces. This is an increase in creativity, an increase in the ability to be unconditionally loving and to connect with others, and just more forward movement in whichever house of yours is ruled by Pisces. And then last but not least, Chiron has been retrograde from July 26th in Aries. Oh my Lord. Through December, and it'll go direct December 29th, 2024 in Aries. So this coming month of December, thank goodness. When Chiron is retrograde, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's just a little more serious. You just feel a little more serious, especially in Aries, the sign associated with like war and intensity. Look at which house in your birth chart is ruled by Aries. Have you felt like things are a little bit more, intense or confusing in that house? Maybe you haven't felt as much get up and go energy as usual in that Aries ruled house, or you've been uncovering some hangups and wounds that you've been healing. That's really what we do when Chiron's retrograde. We heal, we work on ourselves, we work on that Aries energy, we work on self-acceptance and our individuality. So we've been doing that, which is great. And when, Chiron moves forward, we get to actually take all the things that we've learned. And if this is your Chiron return, my husband has Chiron in Aries, I will have to tell him about this. When everything moves forward, this is when you take all the lessons that you've learned, all the healing that you've done, and you just integrate it into your daily life, and you feel more powered up and excited about the future. And wherever Aries is in your chart, whichever house is ruled by Aries, this is where you're going to have more energy after December 29th. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, guys. So that's kind of like an overview. I'm going to pull a couple more cards for a couple celebs that we're interested in. And then I'm going to send you on your way because you got a lot to do with all those retrogrades. Okay, first, let's pull a card for Nicola Coughlan because Nicola has her Venus in Sagittarius, okay? So this means that she's like rethinking, reworking her love life, which when I did my last tarot reading on her, I did get this, some things were changing. So I'm curious to see how this retrograde could affect Nicola Coughlan, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Ooh, Three of Wands in reverse, rethinking the future. What does the future look like? Also, we have these wands here, which is passion, energy, fire signs. Sagittarius is one of them. Wow, rethinking what she's passionate about, rethinking where she wants to go in life. What could she be redoing? Oh my gosh, okay. What else? Ace of Swords, okay, rethinking her communication, rethinking her boundaries. Now, we don't know her time of birth, so I don't know which house her Venus falls in, but having your Venus, ruled by Sagittarius definitely tells you a lot about a person and what they can experience. But I think she has to be careful of speaking too sharply during this time as she rethinks things. She may regret it if she does, speak too sharply. Because Venus, when there's a retrograde there, Venus can be just a little bit out of whack, this could just be rethinking the way that she goes about love and boundaries and relationships. So I don't know. She just has to be careful that, Sagittarius is known for having kind of a hot temper or just saying it like it is, saying it all when maybe they rethink. They're like, I could have held back a little bit. I didn't need to say all that right now. So I don't know. Very interesting. Something about communication though. Something about her future, rethinking her future. Being careful with her communication. It's the Ace of Swords, though. So whatever she ends up doing, it's going to be positive. Let's get one more card. Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, this is so interesting because we did get like some sort of breakup energy when we did the last reading for her. She may have had some difficulty with the person that she's been dating. And the Five of Cups in reverse coming up during a retrograde, I wonder if she and that person will actually rethink things about their future and communicate like honestly and get on the same page. I think she's going to be turning that frown upside down. So I don't think it's over with this person that she's with. Very interesting. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius conjunct Venus, positive. I think smoothing things out that happened in the past that caused some distress. Okay. Things are going to get smoothed out for her with whoever she is romantically interested in. Oh my. Okay. Another one that we had was Selena Gomez. We all know she has a lot of Leo in her chart. So let's just see what could be happening during this retrograde. What could be happening during this retrograde for Selena Gomez? Oh. Okay. Page of Swords and Six of Pentacles. Be careful who you accept gifts from during this holiday season. Oh, Lord. Okay, so for her, as she celebrates this holiday season, she has to be careful that she doesn't get so overly optimistic that she lets too many people into her life, into her home, because there could be some immature people around that may be, bringing her gifts, acting like they're such good friends with her, but maybe they don't have the best intentions. Very interesting. Rethink who you're spending your time with, girl. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. If you guys haven't joined the members only yet on YouTube, be sure that you join because you're going to be getting some personal tarot tea readings. I'm going to be doing a pick a card. If you guys want to know a little bit more about what you specifically will be experiencing during the Sagittarius season, you definitely want to become a member. We do bonuses for you guys, everything from tea times that are a little too juicy to put on the main channel to true crime tarot tea to pick a card readings. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure that you join. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Have a great Sagittarius season. Don't overthink it. Have a good time. Keep it light and breezy, but basically stay grounded and keep paying attention to the details. That's kind of the overview of it all. So, all right. Love you guys. Have a great season. Bye.